Hello and welcome to today's topic, which is on internal referrals. An internal referral is a referral from one consultant to another for the same condition that the patient was originally referred in for, or if an urgent condition has been identified. An internal referral is also done from one consultant to another within the same NHS organisation. If a separate condition is identified that does not affect the treatment of the original condition, then the consultant should be referring the patient back to their GP so the GP can have a discussion with the patient as to where they want to go for that treatment, which may be within the community or at the choice of the patient. If the referral is from one consultant to another for the same condition, then the RTT pathway should remain open. In my experience, I have seen that clinicians do sometimes tend to stop the clock, and that's because they're discharging the patient from their care and obviously onto somebody else, and therefore they tend to stop the clock. They should be selecting at this point a clock ticking code, so an RTT status code 20. Depending on your outcome form, whether that's paper or electronic, there's normally an option that suggests that you're referring on to another consultant for the same condition, and the clinician should be selecting that. Therefore, that will put an RTT status code of 20 on the pathway. So some things that tend to happen if the consultant has discharged the patient and put an RTT clock stop. When the referral is received in the booking office, in my experience, the booking clerks will create a new referral for that patient because the previous one has been stopped. This then will put the patient at an RTT wait of 0 weeks, and therefore, which is incorrect. The original pathway will have stopped and will no longer be visible. Because the pathway is at 0 weeks, then obviously the patient may have time before they have their first appointment with the new clinician. And then further down the line, the pathway will be validated and checked, and they will realise that the previous pathway should not have been closed. They will open up that pathway, connect the two together, and then potentially you've got a lot longer waiting patient than you originally thought. So as a medical secretary, it would be really good if when you're typing a referral from one consultant to another, that you do check the RTT pathway on your PAS or EPR to see if it does have an RTT status code of 20. And if it doesn't, then if you're not confident to change the pathway status code to a 20, then go speak to your validator, pathway coordinator, your manager, and explain the situation and get someone to check it for you. Because by doing that, when the referral is received down in the booking office, they will see that because it's an internal referral, they need to add it to the same pathway. The pathway will be open. It will be added to the right pathway at the right time. It will then show the patient waiting the right amount of weeks, and that won't put any delays in the patient's pathway. And basically, it will it's a win-win for everybody. It's a win-win for the patient, and the pathway will be correct, and people will be managing that patient through in an appropriate time frame. If you're working in the booking office and you receive an internal referral, your process should always be to add the referral to the pathway where the original referral has come from. That way, it's much better to make the pathway longer and shorten it down if it is an urgent referral for a different condition, rather than put it on a new pathway and have to make the pathway longer. So your process should always be to add the referral to the original pathway as long as it's open. And if you notice that the pathway that you need to add the referral to has a stop code on it, so an RTT status code 30, 31, 32, 34, 35, then you really need to go and ask somebody to check the pathway and validate it first before creating a new pathway and putting the referral on a closed pathway, because that will not make the patient visible to be seen and visible for the management team to be making sure that the patient is treated correctly. So as a booking clerk going forward, if you see an internal referral, check whether the pathway has been stopped or is still open. If it's open, then that's great, add it to the pathway that the original referral came from. If it is closed, then go and get someone to check it and validate it in the first instance, and that will stop any delays for treatment for that patient. So I hope you found that helpful. I am going to be doing more regular videos, so please subscribe to my YouTube channel for further videos on subjects like this. Okay, have a good day. Speak to you soon. Bye bye.